troubling reports about mistreatment of refugees in Ukraine from Africa, India, and the Middle East. Ukraine has tens of thousands of students from overseas. Now, many of them are trying to leave, and some of them say they're getting second-class treatment. ABC's Marcus Moore reports.
In the midst of a mass exodus, disturbing reports of racism and violence at the gates of freedom. 1 million people and counting have poured over Ukraine's borders, escaping the scourge of war. It is believed to be the largest number of people displaced in the shortest amount of time since World War II. And the numbers, they keep rising. However, refugees of color from Africa, India, and the Middle East are reporting discrimination.
This is unfair. This is unfair.
I think not all Ukrainians are racist or something, but at the border guys, border soldiers, border police, there was like super racist, I think. And all the black people, Arabic people especially, what I saw, they beat them, they towed their gun to them at night.
Pour qu'on nous mette le cachet de sortie, nous avons passé encore plusieurs heures. Les Ukrainiens ont le droit d'emprunter les bus. Eux, ils sont bien assis, mais nous, on marche à pied. Pour moi, on était choqués.
Et ça a été fait par qui, ça?
Les policiers ukrainiens. Ça, c'est quelque chose, on doit dire la vérité.
Ukraine has nearly 80,000 foreign students, most in major cities like Kharkiv, that have been badly hit. The money they spend to attend school has a significant impact on the Ukrainian economy. According to the country's Ministry of Education and Science, each student spends up to $8,000 a year.
On n'était pas venus comme les gens qui venaient qui demandaient, mais nous, on était arrivés en Ukraine comme des étudiants étrangers et on payait l'argent. On paye cher.
And yet, in the middle of a humanitarian crisis, these students say they are being treated as others. They're reporting longer wait times in line. On Twitter, the hashtag Africans in Ukraine flooded with videos circulating of police refusing entry onto buses.
It seems like there's a hierarchy of Ukrainians first, Indians second, Africans last.
This is Corinne Skye. She's a British medical student who was living in Ukraine when the invasion began. Her family has reached safety in Romania, but she told us when crossing the border, there was obvious segregation.
They are prioritizing Ukrainian people leaving Ukraine. Students who've come from different countries to get an education for a better life for our families and friends. We're the least of their worries. Skye has raised nearly $60,000 on her GoFundMe for Africans struggling to get out of Ukraine. Organizers around the world are working with people on the ground to help distribute aid and warn of the potential dangers through apps like Telegram.
Even at this train station, adding to the trauma for many of these refugees, the non-white refugees, there was a group of roughly 100 or so who actually marauded through the streets, and according to witnesses, they harassed and attacked many of the non-white refugees. There's been no report of injuries, but it does give you a sense of the many layers of this humanitarian crisis that is unfolding here.
Countries are now scrambling to help their citizens once they cross the border. India had roughly 20,000 students in Ukraine. Now Russia is aiding the Indian Foreign Ministry in finding safe routes to get the remaining students out. Russian envoys considering a humanitarian corridor to aid students on the ground. This after India abstained from a UN General Assembly vote for a resolution, quote, deploring Russia's aggression. And Nigeria approving $8.5 million to immediately evacuate 5,000 Nigerians. The goal, airlift them to Nigeria. Although there is some criticism about why governments didn't step up sooner. The United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees, Filippo Grandi, has condemned these reports.
At this critical juncture, there can be no discrimination against any person or any group.
However, the Ukrainian government denies any wrongdoing, tweeting, quote, in Ukraine, there is no discrimination based on race, skin color, or nationality, including when it comes to the crossing of the state border by foreign citizens. The first-come, first-served approach applies to all nationalities. Still, there are thousands of stranded foreigners unable to make their way to the border, wondering if they'll ever see their homelands again. But for some of the ones that are able to make it to the border, the horror goes on, as they're met with the ugliest and the worst of humanity.
So now you are taking Ukrainian white people. Why? Are we not people like them?
Thanks to Marcus Moore.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.